The art of PR yourself. 1. You don't have to be a genius. Find a community of talents. I like the idea of the talent community, because it gives a place to all of us in the creative process, those who don't consider themselves geniuses. You don't have to be exceptionally talented or smart to be a valuable link in a talented community. It's all about what you contribute, the ideas you share, the quality of the connections you make. You create, and the conversations you initiate. If we forget the word genius and try to think about what we can contribute to a talented community, we will adjust to the expectations of ourselves and of the society in which we want to be accepted. We can stop asking what people can do for us, and start asking ourselves what we can do for them. Be a professional. Amateurs may not be well trained, but they spend their lives learning and focus on learning in an open environment where people learn from their failures and successes. Sometimes amateurs have more to teach us than experts. The world is changing rapidly, it's turning us all into amateurs. Even for professionals, the best way to develop a career is to keep the spirit of amateurism and be willing to accept anonymity and instability. You cannot hear your voice if you don't use it. It sounds a bit extreme, but in this day and age, if your product isn't posted online, it doesn't exist. We all have the opportunity to use our voice and voice our opinion, but so many people squander it. If you want people to know about what you do and what you care about, you have to share it. Read Deputy Report. Obituaries don't really talk about death, they talk about life. Each obituary always captures how heroic and sublime that person is, writes artist Myra Kalman. Reading about the dead and what they do with their lives makes me want to get up and do something good with my own life. Thinking about death every morning makes me want to live. Try it, start reading the obituary every morning. Get inspired by people who have experienced life before you. They all start off as novices, then reach the finish line by daring to take the plunge and use what they have. Follow those examples. 2. Think process, don't think product. Look at the back of the stage. When we put our egos aside and share our work, we enable people to develop relationships with us and our products. That helps us sell more products. Join all what you do. Whether you intend to share it or not, documenting and recording work has its own merits. You will have a clearer view of your work and a sense of progress. And when you're ready to share, you'll have tons of documents to choose from. 3. Share something small every day. Send message every day. The form of sharing doesn't matter. Your daily message can be anything you want, a blog post, an email, a Twitter sentence, a YouTube video, or anything social. There is no single sample plan that will work for everyone. Of course, don't let sharing take up too much of your actual work time. If you have trouble balancing the two, set the timer to about 30 minutes. At the end of this period, exit the internet and get back to work. Test, what is special? Never forget to apply the test, so what's so special, before sharing anything. Don't think too much, just trust your feelings. If you're not sure whether to share something, leave it alone for 24 hours. Take it out the next day and look at it in a new direction. Ask yourself, is it useful and interesting? There's nothing wrong with saving. The Save Draft button is like a prophylactic. You may not feel so good right now, but the next morning, you'll be lucky you took it. Turns flow into mass. You have to flip through old ideas to see what you thought before. Once you make sharing part of your daily routine, you will notice topics and trends emerging in your posts. You will find patterns in the traffic. When you spot these patterns, collect those little pieces and turn them into something bigger and more important. You can turn traffic into reserves. Build a good name, domain name. Owning your own space is interesting in that you can do with it as you like. The domain name belongs to you. Build a good domain name, keep it clean, and in the end it will be your money. Whether people show up or not, you are still there, doing your job, and ready to wait whenever they come. 4. Open the door to the room of wonders. Don't become a specification. We all have our own precious collections. They can be rooms of tangible wonder, such as the shelves in the living room filled with novels, records, movies, or museums that are invisible to the human mind. Our minds record memories of the places we've been, the people we've met, and the experiences we've accumulated. We all carry with us the wondrous and wonderful things we encounter in the course of living and working. Those mental records shape each person's preferences and preferences that impact work. There is no call to sick fun. As you share your tastes and influences, have the courage to admit it all. Don't give up pleasure just because you're too hard on yourself. Don't be like the bad guys in the record store, arguing about which punk rock band is the real. Don't try to be trendy or stylish. Being open and honest about what you like is the best way to connect with people with similar interests. Always accept other contributions. If you share someone else's work, it's your responsibility to make sure that person gets the credit they deserve. Citing references in today's era of copying, quoting, and reposting may sound frivolous, but it's worth doing and should be done. You should always share other people's work as if it were your own, treating it with care and respect. 5. Tell good stories. Products never speak for themselves. Your work does not exist in isolation. You may not realize it, but you are already telling the story of your work. Every letter, every text, every conversation, even every blog comment, every Twitter update, every photo, every video, they are all pieces of a communication story that you are constantly talking about. Build. If you want to share more about yourself and your work, you need to become a great storyteller. You need to know what a good story is and how to tell one. Structure has decision meaning. Whether you're telling a finished or unfinished story, keep your audience in mind. Chat with them directly in plain language. Respect their time. Let's be brief. Learn how to talk and how to write. Use the spell correction function. You won't be able to guarantee the truth of a story without checking or correcting punctuation. That only adds to the unintelligibility of it. Everyone likes good stories, but good stories can't be told by everyone. It is a skill that needs to be honed. So read great stories and then find one for yourself. The more you tell, the more interesting your story will become. Talk about yourself at parties. Telling a good story about yourself doesn't mean you have to make up a novel. Stick to the real person category. Tell them the truth, with dignity and dignity. If you're a student, just say you're a student. If you work in an office, say you work in an office. If you have a somewhat weird hybrid job, say something like, I'm a writer who can draw. If you are unemployed, do not hesitate to say it, then expert. 6. Teach what you know. Share your business experience. Sharing with others does not devalue your product, but only adds value to it. Teaching someone what you do is also a way to attract attention. People feel closer to your work because you share what you know with them. And above all, when you share your knowledge and work with people, you also get lessons in return. 7. Don't turn yourself into a spam machine. Silence and listening. The writing community has no shortage of incompetent people who just want a magazine entry even though they've never read the magazine they want to be featured in, says writer Dan Chaon. Those guys deserve to be rejected, of course they will, and we have no reason to sympathize when they complain that no one cares about their work. I call those people spam machines. They are everywhere and exist in every profession. They don't want to pay the fee, they just want to get their share. They don't want to hear your ideas, they just want others to hear theirs. They don't want to go to the concerts, but just shove flyers into your hand on the sidewalk and try to invite you to come with them. You should feel pity for such delusional people. Sometimes, they don't understand the basic fact that the world owes us nothing. Of course, you don't have to be a machine to be a spam machine. I've seen a lot of interesting and successful people become that way. The world revolves around them and their work. They don't have time to care about anything else but themselves. You want heart, not just eyes. Don't be eccentric. Don't waste other people's time. Don't ask for too much. And never ask people to follow you. Identifies those who are in the same boat. When you open up about yourself and your work, you will naturally meet people in the same field. Those are the people who are truly equal to you, people with the same passion, the same mission, the people who share the same interests. Such people are not many, but they are very, very important. Do what you can to nurture relationships with those people. Praise them in public. Invite them to cooperate. Show them your product first. Call them and share the secret. Keep them as close as possible. Meeting in real life. Meeting people online is a great experience, but making them real-life partners is even better. 8. Learn to take hits. Just let them try their best. Getting your product out in front of the world means you have to be ready for all the good and bad. The more people see your product, the more criticisms increase. Here's how to take the hit. Relax and breathe. The problem with imaginative people is that they are very good at visualizing the worst that could happen. Exercise for a stiffer neck. The way to practice for taking hits is to get hit a lot. Launch a lot of products. Dodge in the direction of the punch. Countenance forward. Every criticism is an opportunity for new work to be born. Protect vulnerable areas. If something of yours is so sensitive or important that you can't stand the criticism, keep it hidden. Keep balance. Please remember that your work is what you do, not the person you are. Don't accept passions. Do you have a problem with pranksters? Use the block button on social networking sites. Delete malicious and vulgar comments. My wife used to say, if someone threw a bunch of trash in your living room, you wouldn't leave it there, would you? The same goes for malicious comments, they need to be sung and thrown in the trash. 9. Sell art cheaply. Even result need capital. Everyone says they want the artist to make money, but when the artist makes money, people hate them. The word art for sale is uttered from the tiniest, harshest corners of each of us. Don't be one of those obnoxious fans who give up on your favorite band just because they have a hit song. Don't give up on friends because they have little success. Don't be jealous when the people you love succeed in life. Rejoice in their victory, as if it were your own. Key to everyone. Whether you're asking for money, crowdfunding, or selling products and services, asking for money is a giant leap that you should only take when you feel confident in the value of your product. Don't be afraid to set a price for your product, but the price you offer should be appropriate. Keep a list of email addresses. Those who subscribe to the list will be your biggest supporters, simply because they sign up to receive your mail. Don't betray their trust and don't push your luck away. Build your list and cherish it. At some point, it will benefit you. Create more jobs for yourself. Just be ambitious. Make your life busy. Think bigger. Expand your audience. Don't make things difficult for yourself with arguments like, must be yourself or, don't sell art cheap. Try new things. If an opportunity comes and allows you to do the things you still want to do, say, yes. If an opportunity comes and gives you more money, but it's not what you want to do, turn it down. Give to pay the debt. Be as generous as you can, just a little selfish enough to get the job done. 10. Don't give up. Don't forget your performance. Every career has its ups and downs, just like stories. When you're halfway between work and life, you don't know if you're in a high or low point, and what will happen next. People who get what they want are usually the ones who try. It is important not to give up prematurely. You can't plan anything, but can only be busy working, as the writer Isaac Dinesen wrote, with each passing day, with neither hope nor despair. You cannot be certain that you will succeed, you can just see it as a possibility, and be prepared to jump on it when it comes. Smoke continuously. Avoid standing still at work by never losing momentum. Do it by, instead of resting between projects, wait for everyone's feedback and think about what's to come, using the end of one to rekindle the next. Do what's in front of you, and when you're done ask yourself what you're missing, what you could have done better, or what you haven't reached, then jump right into the next task. Start again. The point is, you never really start over. You don't lose everything you've done before. Even if you try to throw it aside, the lessons learned creep into what you're about to do. So don't think of it as starting over, but starting over. Let's go back to chapter 1. And become an amateur. Look for something new to learn, and when you find it, put in the effort to learn in front of everyone's eyes. Record your progress and share it so others can learn together. Publicize your product, and when the people you've been waiting for show up, pay attention to them, because they have a lot to show you. So what now? Post information about your current job online with the note #Faho. Plan a product promotion night with colleagues or friends. Use this book as a guide, share your progress and curiosity, tell stories and teach each other. Give this book to someone who needs to read it.